Have you ever stopped to question everything you thought you knew about reality? What if, right now, everything you believe about the world, about yourself, about the very nature of existence, was a lie? What if the truth is something so radically different, so unsettling, that your entire perception of the world would shatter in an instant? I know, this might sound extreme, and if you came here expecting a simple video, something light to watch in the background, this might not be for you. This is not entertainment. This is a journey meant for those who are ready to push past the surface and explore the deep, mysterious truths that lie hidden beneath the world we think we know. So, let me ask you, how often do you take a step back and question what's real? I mean, really question it. Most of us walk through life assuming that what we see, what we hear, and what we feel is the truth. But the truth is, our perceptions are limited, shaped by our senses, our experiences, and the beliefs we've adopted without ever fully questioning them. But imagine, for a moment, if everything you thought was true was just a veil, an illusion carefully constructed to keep you in the dark, to keep you from seeing the world as it truly is. What if the universe, your very existence, was not as it appears? That is the possibility we're going to explore today. We're diving into the very fabric of reality itself, and in doing so, we'll explore the mind-bending possibilities that exist beyond the limits of what we believe to be true. We'll challenge your understanding of consciousness, of self, of the universe, and of the power that lies dormant within you. You see, the world we experience every day, the one filled with rules, limitations, and boundaries, isn't the only world that exists. There are realms, dimensions, and possibilities that stretch far beyond what our senses can grasp. It's a concept that has been hinted at by mystics, philosophers, and scientists alike for centuries. But what if I told you that you can access these other realms, that you can see beyond the veil? This isn't just about abstract ideas or theoretical possibilities. This is about you, your mind, your perception, and your potential. Are you ready to look beyond the surface and see the world as it truly is? Because here's the truth. Reality is not fixed. It's not as simple as you've been led to believe. The world is a malleable construct, shaped by your thoughts, your consciousness, and the very energy that flows through you. And once you realize this, once you tap into that power, everything changes. So, let go of any assumptions you've been holding onto. Forget what you think you know about reality, because what we're about to explore will challenge everything. The questions you've had, the doubts you've ignored, this is your opportunity to answer them, to uncover the truth, and to transform your life in ways you never thought possible. Are you ready to see beyond the veil, to step into a reality that defies everything you thought you knew? If so, let's begin. So, what exactly is this reality we're talking about? What do we mean when we say that everything you know about it might be a lie? To understand that, let's start with a fundamental concept: perception. The world we experience is filtered through our senses. What we see, what we hear, what we touch, everything is shaped by the brain's interpretation of sensory input. But here's the catch. These perceptions aren't necessarily an accurate representation of what's really out there. Imagine you're sitting in a room and the lights flicker. Your brain quickly interprets that as a sign of malfunction or something strange happening in the environment. But what if, instead, the flicker is a sign that your perception of reality is being momentarily disrupted? What if this momentary glitch in your senses is just a hint that the world you experience might not be as solid, as permanent as it seems? Let's take it further. We all know about optical illusions, those images that seem to move or change shape the longer you look at them. Your brain tricks you into seeing something that isn't really there. This simple example can be expanded to the idea that what we see, feel, and experience every day is, in fact, an illusion. A highly sophisticated illusion, yes, but an illusion nonetheless? What if everything we perceive, our physical world, the relationships we form, even our identities, were just projections of something far deeper, something unseen? This leads us to the concept of consciousness. Consciousness is often thought of as the simple act of being aware, of knowing that you exist. But what if consciousness itself is the key to unlocking a different reality? What if, instead of being a passive observer, your consciousness actively shapes the world around you? There's a concept in quantum physics that speaks to this idea, the observer effect. According to quantum theory, particles, those tiny building blocks of matter, don't behave like solid, predictable objects. They exist in multiple states at once, in a sort of probability wave, until they are observed. Only when they're measured do they settle into a specific state. This means that, in a sense, the very act of observing reality shapes it. Your consciousness, your awareness, directly influences the world around you. And this idea isn't just some esoteric theory. It has been repeatedly demonstrated in countless experiments in quantum physics. But let's step away from science for a moment and think about how this plays out in our daily lives. Have you ever noticed that when you believe something strongly enough, it can begin to manifest in your reality? For example, if you wake up convinced that today will be a good day, you might find that things just seem to go your way. On the flip side, when you wake up expecting a bad day, it often feels like the universe is conspiring against you. This isn't just coincidence. It's the power of your consciousness shaping your reality. It's a simple demonstration of how your beliefs and thoughts can influence the world around you. Now imagine if you could actively control that. What if you could manipulate the very fabric of your reality by simply shifting your thoughts, beliefs, and consciousness? This isn't as far-fetched as it might sound. Throughout history, there have been people who understood the true nature of reality in ways that transcend the ordinary. Ancient mystics, spiritual leaders, and even modern-day philosophers have hinted at this deeper understanding. The idea that reality is not fixed, that it is malleable and subject to our will, has been echoed in many traditions. Take the law of attraction, for example, a concept popularized in recent years. It's based on the idea that your thoughts and energy can attract certain outcomes into your life. The more you focus on a specific outcome, the more likely it is to manifest. This is a form of conscious manipulation of reality, a glimpse into the power of awareness. But it goes deeper than just thoughts and manifestation. Energy plays a significant role in shaping reality. Everything in the universe is made up of energy, vibrating at different frequencies. The way we perceive the world is influenced by the energy we emit and the energy we attract. When you change your energy, you change your experience of reality. You've probably heard people talk about vibes, that gut feeling you get when something just feels off, or when you meet someone and immediately sense their energy. This is your subconscious picking up on subtle energies that others may not even be aware of. But what if you could consciously tune into these energies, deliberately shift your own frequency, and in doing so, shift your perception of the world around you? Think about it. If reality is shaped by energy, and energy is shaped by consciousness, then what if we could consciously direct that energy, and by extension our reality? This is the power of awakening to your true nature, of realizing that you are not just a passive observer of the world, but an active participant in creating it. As we move forward, we'll begin to uncover how you can tap into this power, how you can begin to reshape your reality, and what it means to truly awaken to the possibilities that lie beyond the limits of your current perception. But first, let's explore the scientific, spiritual, and philosophical foundations that show us how this hidden world works, and how you can begin to see beyond the veil. Now that we've set the stage, let's dive deeper into the heart of this idea. What if everything you know about reality is a lie? To answer this, we need to explore not only how reality is shaped by our perceptions, but also how it is constructed, are something far beyond our individual senses. The first step is to recognize that our sense of reality is based on collective agreements. We tend to think of reality as something out there, something objective and universal. But in truth, our understanding of what constitutes reality is built on shared beliefs and perceptions. Think of it like a movie set. What we see, feel, and experience every day is a carefully constructed world, one that we've all agreed to live in. This collective agreement starts at an early age. When we are born, we enter a world full of concepts that we've had no part in creating. We're told what things are, what's important, what's possible, and what's not. The people around us, the society we live in, the culture we grow up in, these all shape our understanding of what's real. From the very beginning, we are conditioned into a world of limitations, boundaries, and rules that define our experience of life. And yet, these boundaries are not as solid as they appear. Let's take a moment to think about the concept of time. We experience time as a linear, almost rigid construct, the past, present, and future. But this perception of time is not universal. Different cultures have vastly different understandings of time. For instance, some indigenous cultures view time as cyclical, with everything being interconnected in an endless loop rather than moving in one direction. Even in the realm of modern science, the understanding of time has been radically challenged. Einstein's theory of relativity shattered the classical notion of time as a fixed, linear experience. Time, it turns out, is fluid. It bends and stretches depending on speed, gravity, and even perception. In fact, the concept of time as we know it might just be another illusion, shaped by our limited sensory perception and our collective agreements. If time is an illusion, then what else might be a lie? Let's consider space. We think of space as something empty, something to be filled with objects and matter. But quantum physics has shown us that the space between things is not empty at all. It's full of energy, potential, and information. The so-called vacuum of space is actually teeming with fluctuating energy fields, virtual particles, and possibilities. This idea has been proven by quantum field theory, which suggests that the space we think of as nothing is, in fact, an ocean of potential. The universe is not as solid and material as we once believed. In fact, the universe is more like a hologram, with everything interconnected and influenced by energy fields we can't see with our naked eye. And then there's the self, the concept of who you are. What do you truly know about yourself? Do you see yourself as your body, your mind, your thoughts, your experiences? Or is there something more, something deeper, that transcends these temporary aspects of your existence? For most of us, our identity is tied to the body and the thoughts we identify with. But what if I told you that the sense of self you've been carrying around is just another layer of illusion? In fact, much of the modern scientific community now believes that our sense of self is a construct, a mental model created by the brain. There is no I that exists independently of thought. We are not static beings. We are dynamic, constantly changing, evolving, and becoming. But this concept of a permanent, unchanging self is something that has been deeply ingrained in us, from our family, our society, and our culture. Now, let's get personal. Have you ever experienced a moment when you felt like you were no longer bound by time or space? Perhaps it was a moment of intense focus, like when you were deeply absorbed in a task, or when you experienced flow. Maybe it was in a meditation session when the sense of self seemed to dissolve, leaving behind only awareness. In moments like these, you can glimpse what life might be like if you let go of the constraints imposed by the mind, body, and senses. These moments are often fleeting, but they provide a small window into a deeper truth. Reality is more fluid, more malleable than we've been taught to believe. This leads us to the idea of parallel realities. There's a theory in quantum mechanics that suggests that every decision you make, every possibility you choose, creates a new branch of reality. Essentially, every moment you experience is one of countless possibilities, each unfolding into its own universe. In this view, the universe is not a single linear path but a vast multiverse, with countless variations of reality coexisting simultaneously. But how does this relate to you? Think of it this way. If every decision you make creates a new version of reality, then you are not just a passive observer, you are a creator. You have the power to shift your perception, to change your circumstances, and to open yourself up to alternate possibilities that were once beyond your imagination. By shifting your focus, your energy, and your thoughts, you can begin to experience a reality that reflects the deepest truths about who you are and what you are capable of. This is not just theory. There are countless anecdotes of people who have tapped into this deeper knowledge, people who have shifted their reality consciously. Take Neville Goddard, a prominent figure in the realm of manifestation. He taught that your thoughts are not just reflections of your reality, they are the very substance from which reality is created. He claimed that by controlling your inner world, you could influence the external world in profound ways. Goddard wasn't the only one. Many other spiritual teachers and mystics throughout history have echoed this same sentiment. Thoughts create things. The power of the mind to shape reality is more real than most people realize. For a more grounded example, think about the placebo effect. This is when people experience real physical improvements after taking a treatment that has no active ingredients, simply because they believed it would work. The mind's power to influence the body and reality is irrefutable. If the mind can heal the body, can it also heal your perception of reality itself? If all of this is starting to make you question everything you've ever believed, that's exactly the point. You've been taught to view reality through a very narrow lens, a lens that is limited by your senses, by society, and by your conditioning. But what if you could broaden that lens? What if you could see past the surface and realize that you are not just a passive observer in this world, but an active participant, no, a creator of your reality? This brings us back to our initial question. What if everything you know about reality is a lie? What if the truth is far more expansive, far more fluid, and far more powerful than you've ever imagined? As we dive even deeper into this discussion, something powerful begins to unfold, a realization, a moment that could change the way you see everything. You've heard the saying, what you see is what you get. But I'm here to tell you that this isn't even close to the full picture. What if the truth is that you don't see reality at all? What if your perception of reality is a limited, biased filter, one that distorts everything you experience? The moment you realize this, truly grasp it, is the turning point. This is when everything begins to shift. Now, consider this. Your brain is constantly processing an immense amount of information, far more than you're even aware of. But it can't possibly keep track of everything. So it filters what it perceives, blocking out what it deems irrelevant or unnecessary. Think of this as an advanced form of selective hearing or tunnel vision. What if I told you that this filter could be the very thing standing between you and a deeper, more expansive version of reality? Let's take a moment to step back and explore what filters are. Filters are beliefs, values, and societal constructs that shape your perception. They influence how you interpret information, how you react to situations, and how you see the world. Filters are the lens through which you experience everything, from your relationships to your career, to the way you view yourself. But these filters are not neutral. In fact, they are often distorted, shaped by past experiences, trauma, cultural conditioning, and the limited scope of your upbringing. As a result, you may think you're seeing the world for what it truly is, but in reality, you're only seeing a fraction of it, one that's been colored by your life story. Imagine this. You've been living your whole life, thinking that the world operates a certain way. You've accepted the notion that the physical world is solid, that people act out of self-interest, and that success is something you earn through hard work alone. But what if all of this is a lie? Here's the key. You can begin to break free from this false construct, this filter, by simply questioning everything. Think of the world we live in today, with all its limitations and constraints. There's a growing movement of people who have begun to wake up to this reality, who are questioning the very nature of existence. They're asking things like, why do I accept this as true? What is the purpose of my life, really? And what if the limits I see around me don't actually exist? This is where it gets really interesting, because when you begin to question these filters, these beliefs, you start to realize something profound. The illusion you've been living in is not set in stone. It's malleable. It's changeable. And this is the turning point, the moment when you start to realize that the power to change your reality lies within you. But let's break this down further. Have you ever heard of the concept of cognitive dissonance? It's the mental discomfort that occurs when you hold two conflicting beliefs or ideas. For instance, you might believe that you're capable of greatness, but then you also have a belief that you're not worthy of success. These two ideas don't align, and this conflict creates a feeling of unease. The mind tries to resolve this dissonance by reconciling the two ideas in some way, often by suppressing one or distorting the truth. Now, imagine what happens when you challenge the beliefs that keep you locked in place, when you start to see that your understanding of reality might not be as absolute as you thought. This is where the transformation begins. The dissonance you feel can either hold you back or ignite a deeper shift in your perception. What would happen if you stopped believing the lie? What if you stopped accepting the narratives that you've been fed about life, about yourself, and about your limitations? For instance, let's take the common belief that you are not enough. This belief holds so many people back from living their fullest potential. It tells you that you have to prove your worth, that you have to struggle to be valuable. But what if that belief is a lie? What if, deep down, you are already enough, just as you are? When you challenge that lie, you begin to tap into a profound truth. You are more than you think. The limits you believe exist are just illusions, carefully constructed by society, by the media, by your upbringing. But they are not real. This realization doesn't just apply to self-worth. It applies to everything you believe to be true about the world. The way you see success, the way you see love, the way you see your own power. All of it, it's all part of the illusion. And when you wake up to this, you begin to see the world differently. Instead of being a passive observer, you become an active creator. You stop letting your circumstances dictate your life, and instead, you realize that you have the power to change the circumstances around you. This is where the true power of conscious creation comes into play. Manifestation is not some mystical process reserved for a select few. It's a natural ability that we all possess. You are constantly creating your reality, whether you're aware of it or not. Consider this. Your thoughts are vibrations. Everything you think sends out energetic ripples into the universe, influencing the events and circumstances that come into your life. The more you focus on something, the more you pull that energy toward you. And the more you believe in the possibility of something happening, the more you draw it into your experience. The turning point comes when you begin to harness this energy intentionally, understanding that you are not bound by external circumstances or fixed beliefs. You are not limited to the version of reality that has been handed to you. Instead, you become the author of your own story. Imagine for a moment that you could wake up tomorrow and the filters you've been living with, those old beliefs, those limitations, suddenly dissolve. What would you do? How would you act? What would you create? This is your potential. Now, as we continue this journey, keep that thought in mind. You are not limited by the world you see. You are capable of creating a new one. Now that we've seen the lie that has shaped our perception of reality and uncovered the truth that the world you experience isn't what it seems, it's time to shift gears. The real question now is, what can you do about it? What steps can you take to reclaim your power, change the filter through which you view the world, and consciously design the life you want to live? The great news is that once you become aware of the illusion, the possibilities become endless. But the transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, one that requires conscious effort, mindfulness, and most importantly, intention. Let's explore some powerful, actionable insights and practices that can help you move beyond the limitations of your current reality and unlock a life that is authentic, empowered, and aligned with your true self. 1. Question everything, especially your beliefs. The first step to breaking free from the false construct you've been living in is to question everything. Every belief you hold, every story you tell yourself, every assumption about the world. Ask yourself if it's true. Start with simple questions. Asterisk, why do I believe this? Asterisk, who taught me this belief? Asterisk, how does this belief serve me? Asterisk, what would happen if I didn't believe this? By becoming the observer of your own thoughts and beliefs, you begin to separate yourself from them. You realize that these beliefs are not your identity. They are simply ideas that you've accepted. And once you question them, you have the power to let go of what no longer serves you. 2. Reprogram your mind with empowering beliefs. Once you've questioned the limiting beliefs you've held for so long, it's time to replace them. Reprogramming your mind is an essential part of the process. But how do you reprogram it? It starts with affirmations, visualizations, and mindfulness. Affirmations are powerful tools that can help you shift your mindset. These aren't just any affirmations, though. They need to be authentic to your own journey. For example, asterisk, I am worthy of all the success and love I desire. Asterisk, I trust that the universe is guiding me to the right opportunities. Asterisk, I am open to the infinite possibilities that exist for me. When you repeat these affirmations with genuine belief, you start to reshape your inner dialogue. Your subconscious mind, which is responsible for most of your decisions, begins to accept these new truths. And when your subconscious believes something, it starts to create experiences in alignment with that belief. In addition to affirmations, visualization is a key tool. Picture yourself living your ideal life. See the success, the joy, the freedom. Feel the emotions of already having achieved what you desire. Visualization helps to align your inner world with the outer world, helping you to manifest the reality you want. 3. Practice mindfulness and meditation. One of the most profound ways to reconnect with your true self and start shifting your perception is through mindfulness and meditation. These practices allow you to silence the noise, reconnect with the present moment, and gain clarity. In a world where distractions are constant, taking time to be fully present is a revolutionary act. Meditation gives you the space to observe your thoughts without judgment, to recognize the habitual patterns that keep you stuck in old beliefs. Over time, meditation helps you let go of mental clutter, making room for new ideas and perspectives. Start with just a few minutes each day. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. When thoughts arise, gently acknowledge them and return to your breath. The goal isn't to stop your thoughts entirely, but to create space between them. As you do this, you begin to detach from the illusion of your thoughts and see them for what they are, passing mental events, not truths. 4. Embrace the power of intention. Now, let's talk about intention. Every change you make, every goal you set, must be backed by a clear intention. Intention is the guiding force that shapes your reality. It's not enough to simply say, I want to change my life. You must be intentional about the changes you want to see. What is your intention behind wanting to change your life? Is it for freedom? Is it for fulfillment? Is it for love and connection? Get clear on your intention. The more specific and aligned your intention is, the more power it has to bring about change. You can practice setting powerful intentions by writing them down. Put them somewhere visible, where you'll see them every day. Each time you look at your intentions, allow yourself to feel the emotion of already having it. Let that energy build and grow inside of you. 5. Surround yourself with empowering people. One of the quickest ways to shift your reality is by surrounding yourself with people who inspire you. The people you spend your time with have a profound impact on your beliefs, your mindset, and your actions. If you want to change your life, you need to be in environments that support your growth. Seek out those who challenge you in positive ways, who encourage you to think outside the box, and who are aligned with the type of reality you wish to create. Whether it's in-person or online communities, connection is key. When you surround yourself with individuals who uplift you, you begin to mirror their energy, their beliefs, and their potential. 6. Take inspired action. Finally, none of this will matter if you don't take action. Change is not just about thinking and feeling differently, it's about doing. But here's the secret. Your actions should come from a place of inspiration, not obligation. Inspired action happens when you're aligned with your intuition, your true desires, and your deeper purpose. It feels effortless. It feels right. The more you trust in yourself and your inner guidance, the more natural it becomes to take the steps that move you toward the reality you want to create. Start small. Take one inspired step each day. Trust that even the smallest actions compound over time to create monumental change. Conclusion. Reclaim your reality. The beauty of all this is that you hold the key to unlocking a new, more expansive version of reality. You are not a passive observer. You are the creator. You have the power to shift your perception, transform your beliefs, and manifest a life that reflects your true essence. Remember, the reality you see is not set in stone. It is a product of your beliefs, your actions, and your intentions. The moment you choose to question the lie, embrace the truth, and begin living with intention, you will see the world around you begin to shift in ways you never imagined. So, let me ask you this. What will you do with the truth you've discovered today? We began this journey by questioning the very nature of reality. We asked, what if everything you thought you knew was a lie? What if the world you see with your eyes, the world that you experience every day, is merely a fraction of something much bigger? Today, we've peeled back the layers of illusion, examined the beliefs that shape our perceptions, and explored ways to break free from the constraints of a reality that has been handed to us. But here's the truth. This is just the beginning. You are standing at the threshold of a profound shift in your life. What we've discussed, what we've uncovered, is not some abstract theory. It's a call to action. It's an invitation to break free from the limitations of your current reality and step into a life that is more aligned with your authentic self. This isn't just about knowledge. This is about transformation. The truth has been laid bare before you. The reality you experience is shaped by your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, and the stories you tell yourself. Now you have a choice. Will you continue living in the illusion, or will you step into a life of conscious creation? The power of awareness. You see, awareness is the first and most essential step. Once you realize that your reality is not fixed, that you are not a passive participant, but an active creator, everything changes. The moment you recognize that your thoughts and beliefs are not your identity, you begin to realize the power you hold. You are not the sum of your past experiences. You are not bound by the limitations of your upbringing, your social status, or your current circumstances. You are a dynamic being capable of creating a reality that resonates with your deepest desires. But awareness alone is not enough. Action is what turns awareness into transformation. When you start questioning your beliefs, reprogramming your mind, and aligning your intentions with your true desires, that's when change begins to take root. The journey of self-empowerment. Empowerment isn't something that happens overnight. It's a process. It's a journey. And as you walk this path, there will be times of doubt, times when you'll question whether the changes you're making are real. That's okay. Growth doesn't happen in a straight line. It's a winding road full of twists, turns, and detours. But with each step you take, you are moving closer to the truth of who you really are. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the master of your own reality. The more you embrace that, the more the universe will begin to align with you. The magic of inspired action. The next critical step in your journey is inspired action. This is the place where your inner guidance, your intuition, and your authentic desires meet the physical world. It's one thing to envision the life you want to create, but it's another to take action toward it with clarity and purpose. What does inspired action look like? It's when you act not from a place of fear, doubt, or obligation, but from a place of trust, confidence, and inner knowing. Inspired action is effortless. It feels right. You don't force it. Instead, you allow it to unfold naturally, following the signs, listening to your inner voice, and trusting that everything is happening for you, not to you. Transforming your beliefs. Now, let's revisit the core theme we began with: question everything. As we've seen, the reality you've been living is shaped by your beliefs. So, if you want to change your life, you must change your beliefs. It starts with identifying what no longer serves you and replacing those limiting beliefs with ones that empower you. You are a powerful creator. The beliefs you hold shape your experiences, so why not choose beliefs that bring you joy, abundance, and freedom? Why not choose beliefs that empower you to become the person you were always meant to be? Remember, you have the power to rewrite the story of your life, and it starts with a simple choice: to believe that you are worthy of all the greatness the universe has to offer. Empowering your future. As you move forward from this moment, ask yourself, what kind of reality do you want to create? Is it one of peace and contentment? Is it one of success, abundance, and fulfillment? Or is it something else entirely? A life of adventure, discovery, and endless possibility. Whatever it is, know that the path is clear before you. You've already taken the first step by becoming aware of the illusion that has held you back. Now, it's time to walk the path of conscious creation. With each decision, with each action, with each thought, you are shaping your future. And here's the most exciting part: you are not alone. You are part of something much bigger than yourself. The universe is conspiring to support your every move. You are connected to an infinite source of creativity, power, and wisdom. All you need to do is tap into it, trust it, and take inspired action toward the life you want to live. The truth that will set you free. As we close this chapter, remember one thing: the truth will set you free. The truth that you are not bound by the rules of the world you've been taught. The truth that you have the ability to transform your reality. The truth that you are a sovereign being, capable of creating a life that is in perfect alignment with your highest self. So, I leave you with this final question. What will you do with the truth you discovered today? Will you go back to living the way you always have? Or will you choose to embrace the power within you and create a reality that reflects the truth of who you really are? The choice is yours.